Can you move a little bit aside?
To move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm giving AtCoder contest right now. This is third stream within
What?
24 hours. You guys should do better than me,
Who are you talking to, dude?
my viewers.
On stream. Fuck.
No, it's not live. It's not live. It's just recording now. It's not live.
To be better than this, bro.
This is a rated contest for me. So check it out well. Like how would I do? How would I solve? Because it's rated, right? You're given a sequence of length and you perform the following operation exactly once. Choose a pair of integers such that and replace all of them with LR. How many different sequences are possible after? Okay, it tests if you can it tests if you can count them unique in a unique way, right? So there is some L where AL minus 1 not equals to AL, or L equals to 0. Right? If it is equal, we could have made that from here itself, right? This is one way. And if this happens, I'm looking at arrays that differ with A, let's say, okay? Because they need not differ at all. If L equals to R. If these are the L's that are changing, we can always come to that place. Okay, after coming to that place, now A of R plus 1 is not, okay, A of R not equals to A of L, let's say. That's the first R. Means anything from here, from there can be represented in a unique way. So I think with this we are done. Try monkey type app now. Try monkey app, bro. The next thing that's not equal, okay. That's what I'm trying to maintain. Everything not equal is 1. I mean everything being the same. Now from here, if I equals to 0 or A of I minus 1 not equals to here 5. I'll try to count from here because that's what we are fixing, right? From here we know what's the R. Okay, it should be at least from that index to here, n. From that index to n, what does that mean? From that index to n. I think we are done. Making everything 2, making everything 5, making everything from here 5. Something is unequal, and from here we are trying to go as behind as possible, right? Okay, okay, okay. But if it comes till here or here, it doesn't matter. Okay, from here, if you are starting now, making these things to making these things to is not a thing now. So you want number of same values after that. Okay, from R of I, you want number of values that are not that. I'll just maintain their indices, okay? So let's say I want from this index greater than or equals to this index. Return idx dot end of minus comma this val idx of x dot greater than or equals to this value, right? Lower bound of L. So I have to subtract that much because from R of I want to subtract the count that could have been equal. Now they are very unique, right? From 2, I will count number of non-2s. Why? 2 is already 2, but each non-2 can be defined as, okay, what's the longest non-2 that got affected, right? It could have just been a frequency if I'm coming from this side. Okay, I can make the implementation better without using lower bound. I'll do that because I'm jobless. Not jobless because I'm a bit crazy. I'll do that. Who cares about speed? Who cares about doing it first when you can do it in O of n instead of O of n log n. We don't even need this thing now. Okay, we don't even need this thing now. Now we are here. Number of things that are frequency of a of I plus plus. Okay, if a of I not equals to a of I minus 1, or I equals to 0, or this one, now we are from here. From here we have to take number of things that are not equals to these things. Okay, number of things that are not equals to this thing, which is nothing but answer plus equals to n minus I plus 1 minus number of things that are equals to, okay, n minus I plus number of things that are equal to this thing, which is nothing but frequency of a of I. This would be the answer. I thought we are so perfect, but then we are not. Why? For this we have 3, 4 minus 2. I'll just add plus 1 minus 1 here, or I will do frequency plus plus before. That works. See, now it's passing. Such a clear and beautiful solution. It's not just I can solve problems, I'm solving them nicely. You guys should realize that. Like popcorn. So now we are at B. N slimes are arranged in a line. The size of the ith slime from the left is Pi, and the color is Ci. Here the sizes of the slimes are distinct. Size is Pi, color is Ci. Okay, you can only swap colors of different sizes. Can you make them in increasing order? Now, few things are obvious here, right? What doesn't change? For a sequence to be good, let's analyze that. Same color order doesn't change. Okay, same color order doesn't change, which means if you sort now, okay, if it's sorted in their respective colors, can we form the whole sorted? Think of these things as we can. Why? Because imagine the sorted list, okay? They are somewhere. We can always bring the first most smallest thing to the front because that's the smallest in that color also, right? So you can, it's like having multiple lists, taking the minimum, and that's possible because you never cross to same color. So it's all about sorting within the color, okay? So now the problem becomes minimum recoloring, minimum recoloring to make them sorted in their color. Now we should solve this. Keep the cost aside. What were all are possible? Let's say you look at longest decreasing sequence. Okay, what can you say now? All of these values must be in different colors, right? They cannot be in same color. But is this good enough for us? See here, longest decreasing sequence is 3 comma 1. I think it's probably true. You can split the array into, I mean, we can think of this problem because when all initial costs or 1 or n, you must do this right. So we can think of this problem. It's not bad to think of this problem. We can use logic to judge that. Is it good to think of this or is it not good to think of this? Okay. Another point, you won't change color of something twice. Why? It's useless to change color of something twice. So now it's about selecting some minimum subset whose colors you can alter as you like. To form an increasing among same colors. So now this is the question. What's the minimum weighted subset? So, because you can color them anything between 1 and n, maybe you can give the subsequence all new colors that doesn't exist before at all. All new colors that doesn't exist before at all. maybe you can give this subsequence all new colors that doesn't exist before at all. So this subsequence doesn't play a role. We have to see the unchosen subsequence. If you look at the unchosen subsequence, my teeth is hurting here. How am I looking? Is my screen visible? Fuck! I didn't on my screen so far. Sorry guys, sorry guys. So we have all of this written. We have all of this written. Very good points written, but then screen has been gone. Hope you people are just. Sorry guys, I solved them well with very good clarity, but then I didn't share my screen. See, I've solved. Okay. In this, I made one after the other points. Now I am at here, where unchosen subsequence is what matters. So, what you can do is take this one and see my video later. Like things while watching my video. That works out, right? That works out. Okay. And in this, all colors must be chosen. Okay, now it's done. Increasing. So it's for every color. It's about maximum weight increasing sequence, right? It's about maximum weight increasing sequence. Do you see that? If you can solve this problem, given some sequence comma, right? For a color, weights are same. So it's just about longest increasing sequence, and then we are done. That's good problem. Just keeping longest increasing subsequence, removing everything else. We will code this very quick. Int lis, let's say vector int v. Okay. So how longest increasing subsequence works is you maintain for each length what's the minimum end you can get. Okay, you maintain this, what's the minimum end you can get. So let's say initially at one you have one length subsequence which is, let's say let's call it dp dot pushback of only one length subsequence is possible, and it's possible with v of 0. Let's say it's like this now. So now we are going for int I equals to 1, I less than n, I plus plus. We got a new val v. Int val equals to of I. So with these new things, how they're gonna change? See, few things will have this to be n, right? Few things will have this to be n. But then some other things will be greater than val. Few things will be less than val. Right? Few have dp of I less than dp of j less than val. dp of j greater than val, you can add that to these things, right? If dp of j less than val, equal doesn't exist. You can add that, but then this dp is in increasing order, right? So adding that here would be bad. Only this you have to update. Only this you have to update. So I have to find greatest j such that, so int left p dot size of, while left not equals to right minus 1, int mid equals to left plus right minus left plus right by 2, if v of mid is, I want something, all of the, I want j. If j is less, I will make it 0. Okay. Let me keep it minus 1. Okay. V of mid is less than val, then left equals to mid, else right equals to mid. So what happens? It knows what are all less than this. Now we have to do, to the left plus 1 we have to do this one, or to the right we have to do the update. So if dp dot size of equals to right dp dot pushback of val, else dp of right equals to min of dp of right comma, it's not even min, why? That is definitely greater, so I can just update it to val, and then we are good. Return dp dot size of. So now what should we do? We have various colors, right? We have various colors. We have various colors. I will maintain all those values for each color. Okay. I don't want their colors. I don't want this too. I can just know that sum, initial sum. And then what should I do? Int. I have to maintain them. Sorry. Because they are getting outputted in different lines, right? That's why I just want them. Scene pi, scene ci. Now what would I do? I will go over each color. See, step by step, I have explained this problem very well, but then I didn't share my screen. That's so bad. Now it's getting scared. Now it's getting shared. Okay. We are adding everything to their color. Now for c equals to 1, c less than or equals to n, c plus plus. For each of these colors, we want longest increasing subsequence because this is what can be saved. Okay. This is what can be saved. Okay, I'll just keep it as answer. Answer is total minus whatever can be saved. Okay. Minimum cost is to maximum that can be saved is maximum longest increasing subsequence, right? Because the costs of them are same. Answer minus equals to lis of, we can even keep this as reference, lis of groups of c times c. Why? Each of them cost same weight c, right? And then we'll output answer. See, simple and nice codes for all the problems. People might have even copy pasted this one. Simple and nice codes. What happened? I'm accessing this right. Minimum cost was just removing this one, right? It's not just plus P of I, it's plus C of I. And here you are. Okay, for each color, what are the increasing sequences here? For 6, it is 3, 9. For 6, it is 3, 9. For 4, it is 7, 1, 8. For 8, it is 10, 5, 4, 6, 2. Okay. Now, what would be the cost? This is all costs minus whatever can be saved. We are removing whatever can be saved. Right. Let me just check if the LISs are correct or not. So for 4, I'm telling longest increasing subsequence is 2. Is that true? For 4, the longest increasing subsequence is 2. Yeah, that's true. For 6, I'm telling the longest increasing subsequence is 2. Yeah, that's true. So till here, 4 is the cost. Okay. Till here, just 4 is the cost. But now here we are. What is the longest increasing subsequence? It's entirely decreasing, right? It's 1. 1 is the longest. Okay, not 1. 2 is the longest increasing subsequence. So it is 3 times 8 would be the answer. 28 would be the answer. So LIS of this is not getting computed properly. Okay, have to be very careful here. Why that is not getting updated clearly? This has some flaw. First thing that is greater than this is what we want, right? First thing that is greater than this. If it is less, this one, and then right will have the first thing that is greater than this. No, this should be right. This should be correct. I'll also output DP array. I should have just copy pasted that, but then my videos are educational, right? That's why I'm just doing this. For 8, it is 1, right? What is happening? Right is always being 0. 5 comma 0. Okay. And then we have 5. 4 comma 0. And then we have 4. Okay. Now For 6, it should not be 6 comma 0, it should be 6 comma 1. It's dp of made, not val of v of made. That's the problem, that's the bug. I've been very clear, but that's a bug. So guys, we are done with this problem. So that's how you solve problems. It's not panicking, it's not trying so hard, it's like simple, cool problem solving. Okay. And you won't get a wrong answer if you're a bit careful while solving. So now we are at tree sequence. Okay. Sequence, if I hurried, I would have solved it a bit quicker maybe, but what's the point in hurrying? A sequence B of length n consisting of integers between 1 and n is called a good sequence. Now I'm reading this one. If and only if it satisfies the following condition. For every interval L to R, there exists an integer x such that the following condition holds. Prepare a graph with n vertices numbered from 1 to n and 0 edges. For every interval, there exists an x, it seems. Prepare a graph with n vertices numbered from 1 to n 0 edges. For each I between this range, I not equals to x, add an edge between vertices I and bi. Then the vertices L up to so on r plus 1 form a tree. So again a problem where you have to put some work. First you have to logically work on what it means a sequence is good. And then you have to count number of possible good sequences. When AI is 1, you will count AI is minus 1, all AIs are minus 1, you will count all possible number of good sequences, right? So you have to work and you have to simplify first what is a good sequence. That's the first step. And then you have to think of this problem. So it's not like not doable, right? You know what to do, at least in the beginning. So we have to see, let's look at L equals to R cases. Means there exists an XL such that prepare a graph where you add everything except this one. And it forms a tree. Why not equals to X? Because if you add all of them, if you add all of them in n edges, n vertices is not a tree, right? But let's add all of them. It's same as saying for L comma R, if you add all I comma B of I, you will get a tree with a cycle. You have a connected component with cycle. Means Z vertices, Z edges. This is what it means. And then you can remove an edge in this cycle because it comes from some x comma b of x. And then you remove that. So this is what it means. Take one. Wait a minute. Or an outgoing edge. So it's either a cycle or an outgoing edge. Okay. Outgoing edge says nothing but that vertex is outside. Means it's still a tree. Okay, it's still a tree. So it's a connected component with a cycle or a tree where something out of this range is a leaf. It should be a leaf. It should be a single vertex. Whatever is outside of this range that bi is going, it should be a single vertex. So what is the structure of this? What are the restrictions? What are the constraints? We have to think. Okay, let's fix some L. If R keep on increasing, what happens? If you keep on increasing R, what happens? It will be a tree. Okay, fix L. If you keep on increasing R, what happens? How can we go back to being friends when we just... I'm not going to gym recently at all. Actually, I got some muscles, little bit of muscles. Not too big, but yeah. If I flex them, maybe I'll get some exercise and then they'll grow bigger. Flexing is just exercise, guys. And you not actually exercise. It will be a tree initially where one thing goes outside and then it forms a connected component with one cycle. Okay, that's what happens. So let's say you have one, and let's look at b of 1 being here. Okay, so when 2 comes, maybe it's a tree. Maybe they both formed a tree. Okay, when 3 comes, maybe they both formed, these three formed a tree. Up to so on, means 3 has an edge to 1 or 2. 3 has an edge to 1 or 2. That's what it means by tree. Up to so on, everything has an edge to something previous. B of I is something previous because it's getting attached to the tree and then it forming a tree. But now if you take this one, also this satisfies that. But then you add one more thing. If that thing is before, we are done. But if that thing is after, if b of 1 is later, then again it implies and implies this thing should have something before, this thing should have something before, all of them should have something before. Okay, and at some point what happens is some b of I may fall here, then the cycle happens, and from this moment onward nothing else can fall forward. Nothing else can fall this side. Everything must get connected. Everything must get connected. Why? Why? This thing is already connected, and then you have these many things. So everything that comes must get connected. Okay. But then it seems weird, right? It seems we have to come from opposite direction. We have to come from any L, right? So what do we do is we'll examine B of 1. will try to come from this side. Now for this we know it has an edge to this. Whenever x comes, it must have an edge behind. Why? There are no edges now. It must get connected this side. But then we previously thought it must get connected this side. That seems to be a contradiction, right? So, what does this say? If there is some element behind, in between, 1 and b of 1, that seems to be wrong. Wait a minute. I don't want to see. Okay, wait a minute. B of 1 is not having an edge backward. We will look at the point, the first point where this thing came behind. Let's look at that point. Means we have one V, it has a forward edge to some Z B of V, and then we have some B sequence we have, okay? Some B sequence we have, and then it came here, let's say. B square of V came here, let's say. This we are trying to look at, okay? If you're trying to look at this thing, whenever this has happened for the first time, so now you can see for all these things, edges are behind. Okay, for all these things, edges are to the backward. But now, you know, for this, it's forming a cycle. Step. Can I guess some structure that works first? Okay, instead of working on that, can I guess some structure? What about the whole tree? It's nothing but a subgraph, right? We're looking at each subgraph of L to R must be what we need, right? So 1 to n is also a tree with one cycle. Okay, now imagine the tree with one cycle. Okay, we have a cycle now. We have a cycle now. Let's look at that cycle. We have a tree that is a cycle. There is one cycle, and everything else is tree. Now we have this thing. Okay, I hope AtCoder contests are not like AI plagiarized now. Can I use some logic on this thing? So whatever the subgraph we choose, only one thing must go outside. Only one vertex must go outside. Okay. Let's say I choose a subgraph here. I choose a tree here. If I choose a tree, Okay, if I chose a tree here, if I chose a tree here, it has some gaps, right? But then, see the fact that if you look at L comma L plus 1, there must be an edge among them. I think this helps a lot. Just looking at two length things helps us a lot because they must form a tree, right? There is an edge between L and L plus 1. Means 1, 2, 3, all up to so on and are connected. So it's a line graph. It's a line graph because there must be an edge between all of them, and then it's simple. It's a line graph. It must be a line graph. There must be an edge between all of them, and then if you remove b of I, and then you have an edge from. So it's a simple problem again. I am overcomplicating things, and then you have a cycle. So it is just a line graph, okay, and then you have a non-line like this. So this is it, the structure of the graph. Now you take any length, it works out. So it implies and implies. It's a line graph from 1 to n and a cycle exists. This is the simple thing, right? Anyone can guess. I was overcomplicating, I was trying to use logic, but then it's an easy problem. And for that reason, just this is enough. People can guess easily. So now what does this mean? What do you mean? So now what does this mean? We have a cycle, right? We have a cycle here and we have two lines. We have a cycle, we have two lines. You have to give directions to these cycles, these edges. Some edges don't have directions yet, or they don't even exist. The graph is simple. 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 3, right? Means 1, 2 should be connected. 1 goes to 2. Wait, this seems impossible. Okay, 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 3. So you can have other line graphs. So 2 were directed. You have 4 more. And then you can keep a cycle anywhere. So that's what we have to count, guys. We are clear that what we have to count, right? It's a line graph. Structure is just a line graph, and then one edge is being like this. Now we have to count things well. Is it 120 minutes? I know I'm doing bad. Many people might have solved C very easily. See? But our Jot King, our Jot King, Pajit Jot King is number one. What kind of drugs is on? Jot King. Jot King has done D. Many have done C. How to be quicker on C? How to be quicker? How to be quicker? We have edges, right? So, if we see the directions here, in a cycle, the directions must be if this thing goes to this, okay, if this thing goes to this thing must go to this thing must go to this. So it's a cycle. It's a cycle. Means if you look at this cycle, they all should go like this, 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 and then one goes behind. only one goes behind. If I assume without loss of generality, these are the edges, and then we have this, because there is no other way. This cannot turn this side, and then we have, okay, either these things can be either like this, and also all of this should be like this, like this, like this. So it's very clear. All of them should go to I minus 1, all of them should go to I plus 1, and we will have a cycle here. At I comma j, we will have a cycle, means that's the case. Or it could have been like this, and all of them like this, but all of them must approach this, all of them must approach this. So let's look at what are the edges that already exist. Okay, let's look at what are the edges that already exist. Let's look at all adjacent edges. Okay, if you look at all adjacent edges, the directions will be like this, maybe some may be like this, and some will be like this, right? So from this side it should be like that, from this side it should be like that, but if changes, it cannot change twice. It cannot be here and then here, adjacent things. Or they can be when they can be like that, they can be like that, right? If it was this, it can be like this, but it cannot be like you get one reverse and then you go back here. So all adjacent edges must be like this, like this, like this, like this, all adjacent edges, and after some time like this, like this, like this. Okay, all adjacent edges are like this. Now we see if there exists a non-adjacent edge or not, if there exists a non-adjacent edge or not, or if there are double edges on somewhere. This thing defines the cycle. Okay, if the cycle is not defined, then how to count? Then we have a point where things change, right? We have these points where things change. So you're looking at all the in-between edges. So for this, let's say this is the lost this one. For all of that we have to have like this. Let's say this is the lost this one. For all of that we have to have like this. That's count. That's fixed. Okay, that's fixed in all cases. Let's say we don't. Let's say we have this one. If we have this one already, that means until here we have to fix the direction whatever we had. Okay, now it depends. If these things end before that, then this direction can take two values. Okay, but everything after this must be towards that, and that should be satisfied. That satisfies because there is only one this and one this, and you have one behind edge, non-adjacent one, and because all of them will be towards this side. Now we have to see if there is something like this. If there is something like that here, or something like that. If none of them exists, then you can keep this or that. Okay, this is already present, right? Then it is two ways. Else, it is one way. For this edge, it is one way. It's either two or one. In many cases, it's just either two or one. Okay. In many cases, it's just two or one if this exists. But if that doesn't exist, then we have, if that doesn't exist, all we have is till here we have some empty edges, till here it should be like that. Now you have to decide. You cannot have from here to here. Okay, you cannot choose one from here and one from here. That is definitely impossible. Means you can choose one from here and the other one from here. Okay, how many ways can you do that? Or you can choose both from here. Okay, no, you cannot choose both from here then, because this is this side, right? So you have to choose one from here and the other from here. So one must be within this, other must be within this, or one must be within this, other must be within that. And for all of that, it gets fixed. Right, for all of that, it gets fixed. And if you're having this thing inside, then it will be like that. But if you're taking both this and this, like none of them existing, only then you have two ways. So it is 2 plus, if you're here, you can take from all of these things. If you're here, if you're strictly from here, because this is already there, it's one way. It's one way now, and you cannot take from here. This is the way. If you're from here, so it is this length, L, number of nodes here, because all of them must go to here, right? Or they can go to here also. They cannot go to here. Okay, they can go to here too. So if one is less than this, they can go to here or here or here or here or here. Then you will just fix this, you will fix that, and then you're done. So it is L times, let this be Z. It is L times Z plus, similarly, this, let's say this side you have strictly R times Z plus, now consider completely within these two things. Consider completely within these two things. Okay, if you are coming from here, it must be towards this side. Okay, it cannot have two things. It must be towards this side. Direction is getting fixed. But if they are totally here, then the direction is not fixed. Then the direction can be either this or this, and even the cycle will be formed. The cycle can take two directions. Everything else will just adjust. So it is ZC2 times 2. It's just ZC2 times 2. So it's very clear how to do when there is a non-adjacent edge. When there is no non-adjacent edge, we have very clear formula. Right, we have very clear formula. So we can solve this problem. But then it has so many solves, so I have to go to E2. So we have Z. Let's say these things are Z, previous things are L, next things are R. So we have 2 minutes. Should I come 2 minutes or you're coming 2 minutes? So let's say this is the one. From this node to this node we have Z. From here we have L. From here we have R. Then the answer is L times Z. L times Z. Okay, here we have Z things. What is this Z? I don't know. For this we have L times Z plus R times Z plus Z into Z minus 1. Okay, if there is one this edge, then it's already done. If there is one this edge, you have to confirm that all are coming towards this, all are coming towards this. And if there is something in between, it's fixed. If there is nothing in between, it's 2. It's done, guys. It's done. How can we go back to being friends when we just shared a bed? So now I have to see if both of them has edges or not, right? I want to solve at least one more problem. So let me check something. Okay, if there is a non-edge, the direction is already getting fixed, right? The direction is already getting fixed. I will maintain a vertex that gives me longest forward edge. Okay, longest forward edge, I will maintain that vertex. Int longest forward edge. Forward edge coming into this. Let that be 0 initially. Okay. For int I equals to 1, I less than or equals to n, I plus plus. Let that be 1. I'm assuming one edge coming to into this. Okay, one edge coming into that. I'm just assuming that. For something that comes, so I'm what is this is this node is f, and then this node be backward. uh Front, mm, f s, let me just keep it as f, fs. If b of I equals to b of I plus 1, b of I equals to I plus 1, f equals to I plus 1. So we have this forward edge. Okay, now let's look at backward edge. If b of I equals to I minus 1, okay, if f greater than s plus 1 means you have a forward edge here, but then this is f, and then you have s here. There is one more node here, and then you have this one. This is impossible, right? If f equals to s plus 1, this is the case where you have a forward edge and you have a backward edge. Okay, this is the case where you have this and you have this. That means everything else is coming forward to here, everything else is going backward to here, everything else is fixed. It's just one. Now you have to worry about non adjacent things. If there exists one or not. If there exists one or not. In this case, if it exists, 1 minute. Don't come here, bro. Go to that room and come after 2 minutes.
You can or not?
No, I'm coming in 2 minutes. Come after 5 minutes or so. So we are here, right? We have handled this case also perfectly. Now what is left is you have forward edges here, and then you have backward edges like this. Okay, there may be one node, but then it's like this now. So now, if you have one non-edge that fixes everything, if you have one non-adjacent thing that fixes everything, so now that you know these are all perfect, if you have one non-edge, if you have one non-edge, okay, that non-edge, let's say if that non-edge goes to something less than or equals to f, okay, if that non-edge, so this is our f vertex and this is our s vertex, right? And now you're trying to have a non-edge. Okay, if that non-edge comes from here to here, then it's impossible. Why? You cannot have both inside. But if just that doesn't happen, means this or anything happens, then you can just make it up. But even if it happens here, that cannot okay, it cannot happen here like this also. So if it happens here, it should be behind. So it should either go from this side to here, or this side to here, or entirely within. Only those things are allowed. Right. Those are the three things we have here. This side to here, or this side to here, or entirely within. Okay. So let me look at that even more clearly. There can only be one non-edge. IDX, comma, if count equals to 0, else if count greater than 1, see out 0, end L, and then we are done. So if count equals to 0 and other guess is what we have to do. I don't know, I cannot challenge this guy. Does this guy has a YouTube channel? Our Pajit or Pajat? Jotking. Jotking struggling over here. Jotking got to big ranks and now he's excelling all of a sudden. Count equals to 0. Means, what does that mean? Have int L equals to F or equals to n minus back. I think F minus 1, n minus back, comma, Z equals to back minus friend plus 1. Okay. See out L times Z, Z times L plus R plus Z minus 1. This was the answer, right? Take Z common. So now we have to verify among these three cases if this false or not. Okay, among these three cases, if b of idx less than idx, then what should happen? Means an edge is going behind, right? Means what should happen? So one thing should happen, that wherever it's coming from, it should come from, means idx is less than or equals to b. Okay, if it is more, two things cannot be coming from there. Idx is less than or equals to b. That's one condition. And now what's the other condition? IDX, can it be less than the backward edge? Can it be less than f? No. IDX greater than or equals to f. Why? If it is less than f, something is going towards this side, right? That's also wrong. See out. IDX greater than or equals to f and IDX less than or equals to b. Else, in this case, forward edge, it must be IDX greater than or equals to f and IDX less than or equals to b. The fuck, it's same for both. From wherever the edge comes, because it's going on this direction. We are missing just plus one. What's the plus one we are missing? B of I can be equals to I. That's what I'm missing. B of I can be equals to I. Okay, if B of I is equals to I, that's a self cycle, right? That's a self cycle. Now, can how many have a self cycle? Self cycle means it's just n into n plus 1 by 2. Z into Z plus 1 by 2. I think only them can have a self cycle. It's the same, but a self cycle is also allowed now. Wait a minute. Why am I missing something? Why am I missing something? Still on the beat. Home, beat, home. It is Z minus 1 times L. Okay, it is Z minus 1 times L plus Z minus 1 times R. No, no, no. It's Z times only because it's coming from here, right? Z times L plus Z times R plus. Is it plus Z? I don't know why it's working. So you just submit this. That would be bad, right? Maybe I'm missing something here. This is fixed because it's going from here to here. This seems to be cyclic as I'll just submit it, guys. I have to solve D. Oh, it's wrong answer again. Ah, I know that, right? It's wrong answer again. How can we go back to being friends when we just shared a bed? So which is wrong now? Okay, I think I should do this check before, right? I should do this check before. Why? Let's say you have this thing and then again you have this thing, then it's fucked up. But you cannot have these things twice, then this will become less than this. So maybe that's the only error here. See, that's the only error. How can we go back to being friends? We just shared a bed. They're still failing. I can see an error. Count should be zero, right? It can't even be one. Wait, both are same. Is this the only error? I don't think 5 test cases will be of this kind. Maybe there is some other error too. How can we go back to being friends when we just shared a bed? So won't you kiss me on the mouth and love me like a sailor? And when you get it itch, can you tell me what's my flavor? I don't believe in God, but I believe that you're my savior. My mom says that she's worried, but I'm covered in this favor. When we're getting dirty, I forget all that is wrong. So even these are cycles, right? Even those are cycles. I think less than or equals to will just work. It just works. It just works. So won't you kiss me on the mouth and love me like a sailor? When you get it itched, can you tell me what's my flavor? I don't believe in God, but I believe that you're my savior. My mom says that she's worried, but I'm covered in this favor. When we're getting the fuck, screen's gone. When we're getting dirty, forget all that is wrong. I sleep so I can see you. Had to wait so long. Accepted, finally. I don't know how that Pajit or whatever that guy's name, how is he doing this better than me? How this Jot King, how this Jot King is doing better than me. Can I do D in 25 minutes to save my rating? Among all the elements of permutation, those that satisfy the following conditions are good elements. The element can be included in both a longest increasing subsequence and in a longest decreasing subsequence of P. We need K, exactly K good elements. What it means to be a good element. One thing I can for sure see is something like this. Okay, This is longest increasing subsequence and it is here. And there is also a longest decreasing subsequence and it is in there too. Right? What does that say? We have to determine if there exists k. What all k is possible? We have to see. We have to think of what all k is possible. And if it is possible, we have to output some permutation. Okay, if there exists something with k longest increasing subsequences, we can for sure say, okay, let me think of some structure that satisfies. So this seems to be something that satisfies for decreasing, right? But then it fails miserably. 1 minute. Would this just work? We have exactly k elements in longest decreasing. Right, let's even keep it like this. You have these values here increasing. Okay, you have these values here decreasing. And then you have these values here increasing. Would this just work? See, all these elements must be present in longest increasing, right? And then, why? Okay, if this size is greater than 1, then it's true. Why? If size equals to 1, size equals to 1, then all these also will become equally valuable, right? If size is greater than 1, keep few things here, keep few things here, and then make it like this. Keep them here, and then keep them here. You can see if size is greater than or equals to 1, from here you cannot form an increasing. From here without using this you cannot form a decreasing better than this. Equals to 1, then this thing doesn't work. Then that doesn't work because of this reason. What about size equals to 0? What about size equals to 0? Okay, we have to think of 0 and 1. We have to think of 0 and 1. Otherwise, it's easy. Otherwise, this is easy. Even remove these things. Okay, you have to keep these things. So just keep one value here and then make them all increasing. Make them all increasing because now longest decreasing is 2 and these are the only elements in 8. Longest increasing is n minus 1. We are good. So k greater than 1, it's done. For k equals to 1, let this be that value. Okay, let this be that value. Now what you should satisfy is there are some values here and some values here and some values here and some values here perfectly. Okay, and what should happen is all of them are increasing, let's say, means you cannot take a decreasing sequence from here with this help and then this one. K equals to 1 is what you need, right? Can you do this for k equals to 1? Just this and then increasing from here. Now you cannot do that. Why? Then there will be two things, right? What about this one? Now again there are two things. What about this one? What about this one? You have two things coming up, but then you cannot take this and this, or but you can take this and this. But then if you take this and this, it will be increasing, but it's not both increasing and decreasing, right? So this thing, uh, what about it being like this and then this is also decreasing? It's just like zigzag. So now both of these two can be included. Is my screen visible? Can I solve this? I don't think there's any time now. Still 15 minutes left. Can we do that? K equals to 0. Is it impossible if k equals to 0? Let's say you have some LIS, some RIS, and then you look at these 4 points. Okay, okay, let's try to look at these 4 points. You can always involve these two, or you can always involve these two, right? So there will always be one point which is in both of them. If this thing doesn't exist, then if all are here, then you can take this or you can take this, except if all of them are before. So what about this? This is in both increasing and decreasing. But let's say you have one more. Now this is in both increasing and decreasing. Also this is in. 1 minute. Think of this, and then from here you have this. This is in both. All of them are both in decreasing and increasing. And one more here. This is dumb, I guess. Let me think of this thing. The first time where a longest increasing subsequence and the longest decreasing subsequence are side by side, what can you say? Maybe instead of that, you could have just taken this one. Okay, instead of this, you could have taken this one if the next thing is smaller. But if the next thing is smaller, you could have taken this instead. Right. Okay, if this is smaller, this is here, both. Let's see these three things. Okay, if this is here, then you can take these three. Okay, if this is here, what about taking like zigzag kind of thing? Let this be longest increasing sequence, and let this be longest decreasing sequence. But now this may add up to this, right? The first element of longest increasing sequence doesn't have anything before that. That's greater. Means all of them are smaller. Okay, but then is it possible for n equals to 4? I'll just submit wrong answer and then I'll check it. I'm done. Why is sample failing? How can we go back to being friends? We just shared. You cannot include 3 in a longest increasing subsequence. You cannot include 4, 5, 6 in a longest decreasing subsequence. So answer is 1 comma 2. 2 is the answer. Why the fuck? Wait, wait, wait. Fuck. At least it will pass more.
Even if my emotions might resist 1,000 times.
I'm ending the stream, guys.